Welcome back to Career Build Series. This is episode number 102. So behind me here, we have my 1950s pickup truck. I took the light truck chassis that I released to the workshop, and I went ahead and built this in a live stream. So you can go ahead and check out that live stream and the video for the light truck chassis if you'd like to use it. So what a chassis is it's essentially the engine, the transmission. You'll often have wheels and a frame on there. The purpose for me making that was a lot of people struggle with engines and transmissions, and so this will allow you to take your engines and transmissions and build something and use your artistic ability to kind of make it look how you want. And you don't have to worry about the engine, the cooling, the transmission, all of those systems. I also modified the way some of the controls work, and so I want to get this out to people. I talked about in the live stream that the plan was to put this in the workshop. I built a couple little things to go with this, and I want to get through testing so that it's properly tested. I don't like to release things to the workshop until they're up to my standards and working how I want them. So, for example, one thing I made for this is a teardrop trailer. And so I want to make this truck have some utility and actually be usable and not just a showpiece. And so, for example, you hook this teardrop up. So they're called teardrop trailers for obvious reasons because it's in a teardrop shape. And you open up the back here, and I don't know why it's doing that. And this has a little bed in here, so that is a new thing. I might have screwed up and put something in there I wasn't supposed to. Anyway, oh, I think it's just getting hung up on something. So, as you can see, that has a bed and that has some supplies. And so what this will allow us to do is take this out on rescues, and we can sleep till we get another rescue, try to get another land rescue, and actually make this usable. So then one notion I had was in the Career Build Series save, a mission popped up. It's actually pretty close to Draymore, and I thought, we could take a boat from Spy Cakes, or what would be even cooler is have a small boat that is period correct, where you could drive it out with the pickup on a trailer and then go ahead and do a rescue from the boat. So here's the antique wooden boat. This is kind of inspired by Chris Craft. They were really beautiful boats, highly sought after. They were pretty much all wooden construction, really cool. And so built one of these. And so this is going to be our trailer boat. So this is based off the 19-foot Chris Craft. And so what I want to do here in this episode is build a trailer that can accommodate this boat so that I can go ahead and tow the boat on the trailer and complete this mission. So let's go ahead and we'll get working on that. Trying to think of a way to connect this. So I have a couple thoughts here. One, we could put a couple track pieces, and then I'll put a mag-all on the front of the trailer and a winch. The winch will grab on here, it'll suck it up, it will mag-all there, and the tracks will lock. So kind of the way the devs did some of these tracks, I'm not really thrilled with. And the reason is this. If you look at the tracks, these are 1 blocks. If you look at the grippers, these are 2 blocks. And so what I really wish the devs had done was make the gripper shape is fine, but make the gripper 1 block. That by making it 2 blocks, and the reason they did this, I assume, is because instead of doing a composite node, they did these singular nodes here. And because they have 2 nodes, they had to make it 2 blocks. And I would rather if they would swap this out from these 2 nodes to a composite node. That would make things a lot cleaner and a lot easier, I think. I think they changed kind of the way they were doing it. They're starting to do more composite nodes, which I think is a great thing. But for some of these pieces, one of the reasons why they're oversized is we need to have multiple nodes. They have to be as big as the node. And I think this is a classic example of that. For example, in the bottom of containers, we have tracks. And so if I'm going to build an airplane that holds a container in it and it slides on the tracks, I need to use two pieces of flooring on the plane just to accommodate the grippers. And so the floor of your plane tends to have to be overly thick because you need to be able to accommodate 2 of these grippers, or 2 blocks for the gripper. And so that's kind of a pain. In this case, we can kind of do it how we want. We can either use tracks or grippers. But this also comes into play here where the trailer needs to be a little bit higher, at least 1 block higher. So we need to keep that in mind. So let's go ahead, and what I want to do is start working on this trailer. So I'm trying to think of the best way to do this. I think what we'll do is I will build it. We'll see if this method will work for me. So what I'm going to do is just let's start new. All right, let's start new like this, and let's grab a mag all. All right, and so mag all there. All right, so that'll be in the front. We're going to do everything in pink, and that's I can do a quick color swap. So that's going to attach to the boat. What I want to do here is I want to get just the general shaping of the boat. And so we'll grab that, and we'll slide it back like so. And so this is going to slide fully up against the magall like that. And so then I'm trying to think how I want. Let's go. Do we want that up that high? Probably not. So we need to have a winch. So let's grab that winch. All right, so winch right here. Sorry, flicky camera's my favorite. We all know that. Go there. Let's grab a winch, stick it on top like there. I have a scar on my arm from winching a boat up when the winch let go. So that will go there, and that's now in line. So this will pull it both up and toward, because you want the boat to be pulled up onto the trailer, so you want the winch a little bit higher, which it is. And this will go, and the magall can grab the front like so. So that is pretty good there. That should work and connect, I believe. I don't know. This was just visual at hitting there. I don't think that's a problem. And then so from there, we can go. So maybe it doesn't really need to touch any framing in the front, but we will go probably, I'm thinking 1x1 wedges all the way down. We need 1, 2, 3 low. Okay, so we'll go like that. So 1, 2, 3. Let's grab the boat back. And so again, it will sit like there, and then this is underneath right there, so perfect. So now we'll start transitioning to forward, like so, and then we'll put the bottom of the trailer. Let's go ahead and get the boat back in here, see how it's going to sit. So that goes all the way back. We kind of want this to, I don't want this to hit the propeller, so we'll cut this by 1. All right, so that's pretty good there. And then I need a width on my boat. So let's see. We need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on either side. That's still within the normal realm of width for us. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I want to try to contour this a little bit. So let's go ahead and drag the boat back on. So this here, I could probably, let's see if I can contour. Will that properly contour if I do that? Nope. Let's see. So it's a 1x4. Let's grab a 1x4. Let's first start like this. Let's go wedge. And so this will just kind of grab the contours of the boat, I think, a little bit better. Also give the trailer a little bit of detailing. And so that will go like that. Let's grab the boat again. So you can see that will slide up in here. I'm probably looking at there. And that will hug the contours of the boat perfectly. Like that. Okay. So that's looking pretty good there. All right. Let's go ahead. We can delete that off. So that will be kind of the back of the contour of the boat. Trying to think, I'll have to figure out how I want to do the wheels here in a second. So let's go ahead and grab the boat back on. So the boat's going to sit about there probably when it's all sucked in. And then I'm thinking, where can I put... This is the issue with the grippers. I need to find a place where I can put grippers on here. So I could do them on the axle of the wheel. So what I will do is, let's figure we want to put grippers... Trying to think if I want to do 2 or 1. Don't want this too high or low. The problem, again, with the gripper is it has to go 2 down. I could put the gripper on the boat, but then I have to lock the gripper through the boat. I want to put the gripper on the trailer so it locks there. Again, that's the issue with this being so freaking huge, man. I could just do tie downs here, so let's start doing that. So we can tie the stern of the boat, the stern cleats to there. All right. And these are like bunks on a boat trailer. And then let's go ahead and I probably have to go, I'm thinking down one like that at least. Probably across two. Let's get a wheel. I kind of want the wheels to sit right in front of these bunks for the where the boat attaches. So let's go like this. So that, yeah, I kind of want this at the same. What's the width on this? 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's 11. That's not too bad width-wise. It's wider than the truck. So let's try to cut out one. See if we can stick it there. Let's go ahead and we'll go tire radius maximums here. All right, so that's tire radius maximums. And then what we'll do in here is we'll go like this and we'll put a gripper. All right, right like that. And here's a choice. We can do it forwards, which will slide and grab, and then we turn on the brake. The other option is we use, instead of the brake, we use, we detach it and we put it the opposite direction. I think the magall should be strong enough to hold it. So we'll go like this. And so the boat will sit up like that. The gripper will grab onto a part. I need to make sure that this part isn't going to be... So I'm trying to see exactly where it is. So it would be the second on, what is it? Right here. So I'm trying to see what is here. So it'll be in line with the seat. All right, so let's check this boat. So let's go ahead and we'll get rid of that for now. Let's go ahead and save this as the antique boat trailer. Okay. And let's go ahead and open up the boat. And so it's in line with the seat. So it's right here. And let's see, can we go on to, so it would be right here. So it'd be right in front of the meter. And I have, unfortunately, a microcontroller there, which isn't the end of the world. I don't think we, okay, so this is microcontroller here. This is where we're running into problems. So right here is the propeller. There is the propeller shaft. Here we have microcontroller. I could do that as a tilt sensor. So I have to go all the way to the width here. And then can I put in a couple track pieces there? I can't. I can do it right there is fine. And right here is fine. So that will work. So let's try that. Let's go track pieces. So we'll double it up. It'll actually probably be better anyway. Could do a hard point. That's another thought, but yeah, see, I don't dig the look of that either. So hard point, we could do that. Let's do a hard, I can't go in the center is kind of, I just can't go in the center. So I think grippers and sides like this maybe might be better anyway. Yeah, so probably like that to get it to adhere to the trailer. It's going to be tied down. Do we need an attachment system? Probably, I'm thinking. Any sort of bump, I don't want this going to the moon. All right, so where is that? That is back here across the fours. Okay, so let's go ahead and save this as the antique boat and bring the trailer back up. All right, good. So we want to go, so this would be, I believe it's right here on the bunk, so it's two back. And it should be, I need to see how much it is from the center. So let's go back to the boat. Now let's count out center blocks here. So it is right on, this is where those two pieces that I put go. And so it's 2 from the center. All right, so it'd be back here. And then we would go 1, 2 from the center. And let's go ahead and go like this. So that works. That's fine like this. And then we'll grab this gripper here. And so they would grab on like so. Let's get rid of this. All right, so there's our axle. There's the base of the trailer, the bunks. Go like that, and let's see where we're at here. Let's grab, just do a little detailing here. We need to attach the axles anyway. So I want the trailer to have a little bit of mass, so I think what I'll do instead is do this, do battle cannons. So battle cannons are 40 mass for a 3-block item. That's why you'll see a lot of people, myself included, using battle cannon parts, is they make it a little bit easier for us, or they help with weight, essentially. And so just kind of making this look like axles. Cut this across. We'll take some rocket pieces, like so. There we go. I think that looks a little bit better. And we will, I'm going to have to go, doesn't matter. We can block that. And then we'll put a cross beam axle like so. There we go. That looks pretty good. And that's going to give it a little bit of mass so that it will, so the boat trailer doesn't want to turn over. If the boat trailer, like the mass of the boat trailer is only 271, the boat only weighs like 492. And so the first turn we take, because the boat is heavier than the trailer, the boat will try to overturn the trailer. And so by putting in some weight blocks, which actually what we'll do is this, the more weight I can get down low, the less likely we're going to roll this trailer. So like doing as much as I can to get the mass down and get the mass up, and I want the center of gravity right over the wheels. This is all helping. So now trailer's still a little bit lighter than the boat, but it's getting close to being the same mass, which is good. That will really help. And then we're going to completely, I'm going to completely change the color of this trailer from pink, of course. But that's good. So those now line up, and those should grab. So let's grab the boat and see how we look alignment-wise. So that will sit like that. These will grab there, as you can see, and we'll be able to activate the brakes on here. Beautiful. All right, so let's get rid of that. And so we have two things here. On this mag-all, we have connected. And so what will happen is when connected comes on, this will engage the brakes. All right. So when this is connected, the brakes will automatically come on. So as soon as the boat touches the front, bingo, brakes are on. It locks it on the trailer nicely. So that's good. All right. And so now we need to attach it to the truck. So let's go ahead and save this. Let's bring in the truck as our main piece. And let's go ahead and we'll load in the trailer as the secondary piece. All right, and let's get alignment going here. So there is the boat trailer. And so that is aligned right there. So we would want it to come and gooseneck down. So it needs to gooseneck down a little bit. So it would be right there to attach, and it is right underneath the winch. All right, perfect. So it's going to be right here and underneath. So that's fine. Let's go grab the trailer. And it's, yep, right underneath the winch. Perfect. All right, so that works for me. Let's go ahead and we'll just do a decorative item here. We'll go ahead and we will turn this over like so. We'll go like this. There we go. That's a little bit more attractive there. And then what I want to do is wedge. Trying to keep this a little bit on the attractive side here. Yeah, this can be one block further away, like so. And then we want to do a connector. Actually, let's do undo you. Connector right here. And this trailer's not going to really I'll probably put brakes in the trailer. So there's the trailer. Now let's give this some color. I'm thinking let's try. That's chromed. That looks good. The chrome and the black offset one another pretty nicely here. And then I'm going to detach this manually. So I won't need a box there. I will need a box here. So let's go ahead and let's just do this. Panel. That's looking chunky. Not the end of the world, but it's okay. Not my favorite look. Let's go blank. Microcontroller, stick one here. And let's go ahead and we want to extend that out. Let's just make it full 6 for now. And so we want to go composite input from the panel. All right, and so I want to have, I'm going to turn this to the side so that winch will be on top. So it'll be 2 for the winches. So it'll be winch in, winch out. And then we'll go output. This will be trailer lock. Okay, trailer lock there. I think that's all we need. Probably, you know what I'm going to do here? Let's go logic input. Yeah, I'm trying to think how I want to do this. Okay, logic input, or composite input rather. Composite input from Pintle. And then we'll go out to the number output brakes. All right. And so this will also work as our brake controller. Let's do property text. And we'll label that spawn just so I know where these spawn. Okay. And let's get these lined up here. Can I make this one longer? No, this is a full 6. Crap. Let's see. That's fine. We can make that work. All right, so panel, here we go. We're going to do... Trying to think how exactly I want to do this. All right, let's go. So read on off, that's going to be channel 1. Let's go. That was going to go winch in. Channel 2 is winch out. Channel 3. Will be locked the load, and then 4 will be brake release probably, so that we can push the trailer. I want the brakes to default on if we're disconnected. So trailer lock, and then what we want to do here is, so from the Pintle, I need to figure out the channel for this. But what we're going to do here is we'll do a numerical switch box. And we'll do 2 options here. We'll do an add. And so what this is going to do is this is going to use the variable brakes as a parking brake. And so we'll do property number, park, brake. And that will set it as a 1. I don't want to go there. This goes there, like so. So if we turn on the, let's see. So we want the default position to be parking brake on. And then whatever that is, Pintle. Let's see if we get, I can't recall if we get a composite telling us if this is connected. See, this should give us a, it would be nice if this told us if it's connected, because we can find out from this if it's connected. So if it's connected, I want the, actually, you know what we'll do? This is what we'll do. Try to think here. Best way to do this. That panel's gonna probably have to swell. It's let's see if there's anything else I can work on here. Because I'd like to have braking on here. So let's see, winch in, winch out, trailer lock. And then brake release there. Trying to think if there's anything I can do to get this panel smaller. I can feed through the panel. So let's do that. This will cut out pintle. So pintle will go because I need park brake. Okay, so this will be on-off output. And then so what we'll do here is the panel. The pintle will connect to the panel. And then I will read these. Let's just get these numbers up higher. So let's say 16, 17. Where are we at here? 18. Where are we at? 19. Okay, so 16, 17, 18, 19. That's fine. And then what we want to do is channel 2. Channel 2 is the WS, and that's going to come from the pintle. I'm going to connect my seat directly to the pintle where the trailer connects. And so that's going to feed brake information directly through. So let's get rid of this for now. Bingo, bango. All right. Did this fix what I needed? No, I screwed up. Okay, let's go like this. That goes back. I didn't fix the actual issue that I had. So instead of park brake, this needs to be input, and that is connected. All right, that's better. All right. So what's going to happen is if this is connected, it is going to go from... All right, so the brakes will come on full solid if the pintle, the brakes will come off of locked up if the trailer's connected to the truck. Then what will happen is the truck will now command what the brakes are, because that will keep us, like, say that I leave the trailer on a hill. The brakes will be 100% on so that it doesn't roll down the hill. Then when I attach the truck, if its brakes are on, it will read the truck's brakes on. If the truck's brakes are off, it will read the truck's brakes are off, and it'll give me any of that. So that's fine. So I know I probably confused everybody with that, but that should work for me. So park brakes 1, connected. And then what do you here? This is nothing now. Okay, so that's fine. So this should all work, I think. 16, 17, 18 for those. So, okay, so there was one I needed this. So if it's connected, that should be fine. I shouldn't need that last node. Okay, so we should be all right with this. So 16, 17, 18. Let's update that microcontroller. And so what we want to do is we want to take this composite. We want to go to the panel. Then the panel talks to the to this microcontroller. Then the microcontroller will control the variable brakes. And then we will, if this is connected. So if this is connected, yep, that works. I put it the right way. Let's go trailer lock. So that will be, let's see, trailer lock. So if this is connected, okay, so I need magnet toggle. Okay, so this should be magnet. Okay, that's right. Okay, so this is, that goes there. And then this one, when the mag-all is connected, it will automatically turn the brakes on. When I toggle this off, it will automatically deselect the brakes. That works. Winch in, winch out. Composite should be there, and I think we're good. So let's cut this. And eventually I'll be able to rotate it where I want it. That should look pretty good there. Nice, and we'll slide that right like that. All right, so that's good. Let's go ahead and we need some electricity here, but I need to work on the panel. So the panel is going to get slewed like this. And this is going to be winch in. And I'm trying to decide, do I want this a push button or do I want this? It's tough for me to decide this. Let's go winch speed. Let's make it like 0.1. Now let's make it like 0.3, and I'll do toggles. If I wasn't going to do toggles, I'd want push. So I started with what, 16? This is going to be 17. Winch out. Toggle 17. And then this here, if this is a flip switch. All right, so flip switch. 18. That's mag lock. Mag lock. And then this will be none for now. And if we need something later, we can do that. So it's going to go pintle from the truck is going to power all this stuff. And that should be good. Let's go ahead and save this trailer. Antique boat trailer. All right, and let's put all our parts together and see if we now have a functional vehicle that we can utilize. All right, so here's our pickup. Let's get the trailer in here. And the trailer will go right here, and the pintle has to go one block behind it, like so. That will snap and grab. All right, and then what we want to do is we want to grab the boat. And the antique boat will come up here. And that needs to go one back. We can actually, you know what, let's do that. And let's go over the top like that. And let's go, we want logic, we want rope. I'm going to go rope, rope, rope. All right, and let's try that. I haven't connected the brakes up yet. So now it's sitting on the trailer. It's sitting on here nicely. I don't know if those are grabbed, but let's go ahead and I didn't hook the panel up. Okay, that's not going to be helpful. Let's merge this panel. I rotated it. There we go. All right, so that grabbed it. All right, good. So the boat is locked to the trailer. Lovely. Let's get a quick little picky-roni here. Oh, wow. Contrast the opposite way makes the game look horrendous. Look at me flying there. That's a funny picture. I like that. All right, good. So let's take a little run down to the beach. And let's put this in. So I think this adds a little bit of fun to the whole thing. You know, it's one of the reasons I haven't released this yet is parking brake. Put the parking brake on. There we go. Okay. So I haven't hooked up the brakes on the trailer yet, so I'm not going to have any brakes. But you see, these look, scale-wise, these look good together, I think. So find an area. There's one over here at the other end that I think is better. So what I'll probably end up doing is gripping up the tires on the trailer just so they don't slide as much. But I think this looks good together. Proportionally, everything looks nice. I think this is going to be fun. This is the kind of thing that I really enjoy in game is, are the use cases for this going to be much? No. Do I care? No. You know, the point is to have it be the funsies, you know. Wowza! I forgot that was steep as hell. That is steep as hell. Oh, am I going to slide down there? Let's see. We'll try it like this. We'll see how bad this is. So, one thing I probably don't want to grip up the tires is... Actually, it might help. You know, I have a lot of experience driving, reversing trailers, and driving them forward, IRL. And it is a challenge for me sometimes to get these trailers to go down, to back these trailers up. Let's go... I'm trying to find a beach that is, like, reasonable, that I can... Maybe that... No, I can't get down to that one. Let's go for a little drive, see if we can't get this in the water. It would be cool if they put a couple boat ramps in. Alright, so we're driving a little reckless here. I should have vehicle damage on. I'm not 100% sure. Wow, 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 wow. So what's happened there is what's called cracking the whip. It often happens with the rear trailer of the kite if you have two, but as you can see, the trailer started to move the pickup. The pickup doesn't have much mass. You know, you see a lot of people, it's funny, it's not funny, but you see a lot of people in snowstorms, and they drive a pickup truck and they think they're impervious to the snowstorm, and it's one of the worst vehicles to be driving out in a snowstorm. It has it's mostly forward mass bias. So the mass is in the front of the vehicle, right? You have this big hood with a big engine. You have all the, you know, if it's four-wheel drive, you have all the transfer case and all the componentry up there in the front. And you have pretty much just an axle with a bed on the back. You know, there's not much mass back there. And they think, oh, I have four-wheel drive. I can go through this. Well, guess what? A four-wheel drive, you know, like crossover SUV is much better because it has some mass back there. And you really don't, like, for example, people up north will put in sandbags. They'll put sandbags in the bed of their truck to try to get a little bit of traction. It doesn't take that much mass back there to really give you some traction. You know, so pickup trucks, I'm just driving through the water just so I don't have to back in too much. All right, there we go. We're just going to gently slide in here, and there's my new picture. So let's go ahead, set the parking brake. And let's grab a quick pic. I think this is fun, putting a boat in the water like this. Grab a couple here. I think it's just kind of nice, you know. You know, this is something that's it's just for the funs of it. You know, this adds a lot of interest and fun. Like, you know, I was like, oh, it'd be cool to be able to take this truck and actually go do some of those rescue missions with a boat, and you have to load up the trailer and then put your boat in. I think that's a lot more fun. So let's go ahead and jump out. All right, and so let's see if we can't get this sucker in there. So you see the brake lights are on. That means these are not on yet because I haven't hooked the pintle up, but they will be. Okay, so we want to do mag lock off, and then I need to grab my ropes off the stern. If I can do it here, let's see. All right, let's try to jump on the stern and not upset the boat too much. I'm just going to toss these on the shore for now. I'm not going to screw around with it too much. So I can grab from the side here. Okay, so that is on me now. Alright, so those ropes are on. Let's rope it out. And sometimes in real life you need to rock these as well. So we'll see if I have to rock it. So I'm just getting a little bit of that out there. And I'm trying to see if I can't push this off. So let's see, where are we at here? So this is sitting on there. I need to check the... So this should be off. So let's see. So the brake should be off on the two grippers. I'm going to test that in a second and check it. So here are my two grippers. Okay, as you see, it's not grabbed anymore. The problem is it might need the sliders of the grippers to be able to... You know what we probably want to do? We probably want a gripper all the way to the back. That will keep it up because what it's doing is it's not sitting on the grippers. It won't slide well. So I think we need to put grippers all the way in the back here. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to push it off. I might, but I think it's going to be easier if I put grippers all the way in the back. That will give me some, make it a little bit more reliable. So we'll test that in a second. So that's super slow. That's fine. I'm going to try to push it off. Because see how it's now sitting and it's grabbing onto things? So I think it's going to be better if I put grippers all the way back. I might get... I'll keep those little side things. That keeps it... It's not really going to keep it on there. But let's try to power it off. You'd actually do this often in real life. You power your boat off. Or you power it on. So let's try powering it off. I might be able to do that. But I think... Ooh, geez. The grippers will help. That just probably screwed it up even more. Okay, so let's start it up. Alright, and let's go in reverse. So it doesn't rev up very high in reverse. I need to fix that too. But let's get this going, see if I can't help it. And then I think fixing those grippers will fix it. But we're powering the boat off now, and, you know, this isn't as smooth as I'd like it. Putting those grippers on will really make it smooth. It will slide on the grippers. Because I don't have it set up to disconnect. I have it set up so the brakes are off, I think. Maybe I did do it so it disconnected, but I'll see. Alright, so I'm not digging the performance of this right now, so let's go grab it back to the workbench. But I think this is going to fix it up nicely. So let's go back to the trailer. And so what I'll do here is where these grippers are, I'm going to delete that, and I'm going to grab grippers. And we'll go gripper, 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 like so. And then what we'll do is we'll still connect this. So if that's connected, this will do the brakes. We're not going to have a release. Release will drop this down. I don't want that. What I want it to do is I want it to stay connected until it slides off the back. And so what will happen now is let's actually go all the way to the back here. I'll go like this. I will go all the way to the back like that. All right. Sometimes these make it worse if you put on, you go like that. So I'll have to see. This may not like that, but we'll see. So that's a little ramp there. Sometimes this is too sharp, but a little ramp. We'll see if this ramps up fine. And what we'll actually do is we'll go across on the ramp. I don't want getting caught on those blocks, so we'll go like that. All right. And so now that will keep this suspended until it slides all the way back, and then it will drop. So hopefully that will help it. So let's go ahead and save that as our trailer. All right, we'll go. We have to rebuild the whole vehicle again, which isn't a big deal. Vehicle. It's a little bit of a drive, but it's not bad either. You know, it's just a short drive down there. That beach, I think, is the ideal place to do it. So let's go up till we get wheels back right there. And then we want to load the boat. If I can remember how to do things. There we go. Boat. Is that right where I want it? It is. Okay, and then I want to do rope logic, so I don't have to buy... Oops, I have to paste that boat in first. All right, paste you. Then I need to do rope logic. And then one thing I want to do here is I'll have to do this later, but composite here from the seat will go to the pintle. And then that channel 2 will control the brakes. So this will kind of give me a little bit of brake control. All right, good. So that's now attached. Let's drag this. I forgot to reattach the panel. So that needs to be done on the trailer, okay? So see, it's sliding now because it's sitting on those tracks. It wants to slide on those grippers. All right, there we go. So now that is locked. The back is locked. This should be well adhered. Let's go for a little driver-only here. Okay, I need to do that. 6. All right. So we have a little bit of brakes on the trailer now. So, for example, we're going downhill and I'm starting to slow down. The trailer will try to go in front of me with the brakes. Now the trailer has brakes, so the trailer will not want to go down in front of me. Okay. Try not to hit things because I do have damage on. Let's shut the damage off. There's no point in me, you know, if I crash this, like hit a bump, like 90% of the way there, it's just going to be obnoxious. So you see how it wants the trailer really wants to slide. I think I'm going to put in, grip up the trailers, grip up the tires of the trailer, and that will help with making sure this is, it doesn't slide, it doesn't fishtail as much, it doesn't crack the whip, because, you know, it's going to accentuate it. IRL, that, you know, you would have to be going pretty hard, and you see, because it's swinging so hard, it keeps wanting to disconnect the mag all, so I'll fix that. You know, gripping up the tires will fix that. What is dragging? Something's dragging. Okay, I wonder, is the tire hitting, is the tire rubbing on something? I don't know. But I like the size and the shape of the boat. Came out really nice. I started making the video on it, and I had a bad pause in there where I forgot to unpause, and the stability system was taking me a little while to get fixed up, but it's running really well now. So now the trailer has brakes, which is helpful. Now we're in reverse. So I'm not even gonna tap out reverse. I'm just gonna reverse it in by rolling. Then I'm gonna slam on S, brakes come on, beautiful. All right, parking brake comes on. Now with parking brake, only the power unit's brakes are coming on. If we look at this, the parking brake should not be on these, as you can see. And so if I needed those on, what I could do is press the Alt key and the S, and that would give me full brake. So it gives me the option. Now, this should want to slide off now. So the brakes are off now. And we're going to go ahead and we'll jump in. I'm going to go ahead and start it up. And we'll go in reverse. I need to fix the reverse on this. See how very slow that winch is. Alright, good. So that's in reverse. I'm just going to... I don't have a rope on me. Get rid of... Oh, the stern is roped as well. I need to undo all these ropes. Just going to throw them in the water for now. Alright. And it's a little bit hard for me to power off here. So you see it is now touching the bottom of the trailer. So it has a little bit of friction, and my... reverse is very weak. I need to speed up my RPS in the reverse because it's only 1-to-1 in reverse. So it needs to have 3 times the RPS to go the same speed. Try to push it off, and I think we fixed the boat on that. I should have done both of them, but I kind of forgot. So let's see. Can I get this off? The other thing we can do is we can slam the truck out of here. That is also something people do to get their boat off trailers. Is we will release the parking brake, we'll put it in forward, and we'll do that. So it works. All right, I want to inspect the trailer. I want to see what is up with if we are rubbing on anything. I don't know. It doesn't look like we're rubbing on anything. I can't see anything that's rubbing. Could be this here, but, you know, it's actually not touching. Let's shut this thing up. All right, there we go. So that needs to be faster. So reverse definitely needs to be... You see the boat is swamped. I need to probably, you know, it works fine in forward, but it's swamped now, so I need to fix that a little bit. So let's go forward here. So let's go... Get rid of that trim, and then we'll start going forward. So the boat actually performs really well. So you see how it comes up nicely. What I'll probably end up doing is I'll put in the rocket glitch to get a little bit more buoyancy in this boat. The thing that I'm afraid of is, for example, this boat looks tiny, like it's going to be thrown around. We're currently doing 30 knots, which is what I want it to do, 30 to 40. So we're there. If I put this in 50, I did 58% wind in one of my tests. Let's go right in the wind. Right into the wind is the most challenging. You'll notice no problems. You know, that's 60% wind, and this little tiny boat is having no problems. My fear is that if I lighten it, it's going to have problems, but I don't think it's going to be too big of a deal. I think we'll be all right. So let's go ahead, and I will bring all this back to the workbench, and we'll work on the individual pieces and get everything fixed up. All right, so first thing we need to work on is the trailer. All right, so the trailer needs to have this merged, done. This needs to go back up to 1, because I don't want that to take all day. I don't know what is rubbing on this. So this is going to help me align it and keep it aligned, so I kind of want to keep these side pieces here. So I'll keep those on. They might be rubbing on the tires, but that's not the end of the world. Let's, for now, just put grip tires on here. I will XML grip them later. All right, so that is, I think, everything I needed to do on the trailer. All right, so that is now saved. I'm going to save a backup. of the trailer. Okay, so the trailer should be good. Let's go to the car, or the truck rather, and let's go ahead. We want the composite from the seat to go to the pintle. And I want to make sure the pintle has electricity. It does. Perfect. That is saved now. All right. And then the last thing we'll do is we'll go over to Spy Cakes for working on the reverse of this. So let's get rid of the wind for now. And we'll rocket glitch it as well. We'll see how it behaves. So you guys saw how it behaves. I want to get it going in reverse. I need to play with some microcontrollers to get this to work correctly in reverse. So if we look at reverse, it has one gearbox in here. And so it's 6-5 or 1 -1. And so what the problem is it's the 1-to-1 gear ratio in reverse. And so if you look, we can go 30 RPS forward. We're only be able to go 5 in reverse. So what we'll do is I'll make that 10. And I don't want to go super fast in reverse. The other thing I need to do here is I need to screw with all my panels here. So this one is my forward stability. So the way I like to make a lot of my boats is, I'll talk about the stability really quick. In the new player career build series, I'm going to go over stability of the boat probably in the next episode. I'll do some other stability tutorials, try to, do a Stormworks basics one, but I'll work on it there if you need to see it. But I'll go over this really quick, how this is working. So let's put another node on here. And I need a linear speed, number input linear. All right, linear speed. All right, so the way this system works is I'll talk about the stern first. So in my stern here, you'll notice I have 2 fins, port and starboard. These are the simplest way you can make your stern work. And so what you do here is you have 2 altimeters. And you put your altimeter where you want the boat to be, where you want the boat essentially to be floating while it's moving. And so as you see, I have them one above the propeller, and that makes it so the propeller will stay in the water more, but it allows me to come up out of the water, have less friction, and go a little bit faster. But I want that propeller to always stay in the water. And so they're one block above here. If you wanted it to be deeper in the water, you can put them another block above rather. And they connect directly to the fins. So and if we look at the orientation arrows, as the stern comes up higher in altitude, the fins start to angle down, which drags it back down in altitude. So a 0 will be level fins. As it starts gaining altitude, the fins go down, start pulling the stern back down. As it goes down below 0, the fins go up, lifting it. So they just work with the altitude. Now, you can do that on the front, on the back, on the stern, rather. You really don't want to do it on the bow, and this is the reason why. You don't want to plunge. If you did it on the front, what would happen is if you have a wave, the boat would submarine and it would plow right through the wave. It would always try to stay at 0, 0 altitude and plow you right through. That is fine with the stern. Eventually what's going to happen is the stern will not have enough power with those 2 small fins to drag it deep underwater. And so what's going to happen is it's going to, as you go up on a wave, it will pull the stern down, but what will that do? Tip the bow up a little bit. And the stern will never be able to be dragged down. When you go up over the wave, the stern is going to want to drag down, which is fine. That's simulating gravity, right? The boat wants to go back down because of gravity. All right. The bow here, what we have is we have 2 fins. They're hidden in here with a XML block. I have, they're both, if we look at the arrow orientation, we have solids up, solids up. This one is going to the left, and this one is going to the right. And the reason I do this is if you put them both on one wall, say we put them on the starboard wall, the boat would want to roll because they do have some roll on them. By alternating them, it will keep it from rolling. Right behind it, we have a tilt sensor. That tilt sensor goes into here. So the bow is controlling the tilt, and the stern is controlling the altitude. So all the bow wants to do is keep us flat, and all the stern wants to do is keep us at 0 altitude. And so that is a good combination I found. It gives you very natural movement. You come up over a wave, the tilt is going to go up. That's going to cause the fins to go down on the bow. So the bow is trying to go down. but it's not trying to go to zero. It's just trying to go down. And so that's simulating gravity, right? The wave pushes you up, gravity pulls you down, you get a natural behavior. The stern does the same thing, but to zero. And because let's say you're going up a wave, right? The bow goes up. What's going to happen if I did this tilt system on the stern as well? Well, the bow would try to go down, the stern would pick up. That's not natural, right? Gravity is still trying to get the stern to stay down going up a wave. So when we tip up the wave, gravity only wants to pull the bow. Gravity wants to pull the bow down and the stern down. If we did it the other way, it would try to pick the stern up, which would take the propeller out of the water, and we wouldn't have any more drive system, and it would pull the bow down. So by keeping the stern as the altimeter system, it wants to keep that propeller in the water all the time. So as you go up the wave, the bow naturally wants to drop because of gravity, and the stern also wants to drop. So what it's doing is it's pancaking the boat against the side of the wave, which is very natural because of gravity. Once you crest the wave, the bow wants to go down, and the stern also wants to go down. So it tries to sit and slide down the wave very naturally as though gravity was taking over. So here's the controller for the bow. And all it is a tilt sensor. We put a set point of 0. We want no tilt sensor. P-value is usually pretty high on this. I have a 50 in there. And I have it as a negative X. I could just flip the fins or put a negative value in there. I'm actually going to flip-flop it right now. We need to flip-flop it because when I go in reverse, it's going to try to suck me underwater. And that's because the fins need to go in the opposite direction. So again, let's say that we're tilting, the bow is tilting down, right? And we're going forward. You would want the fins to come up. That would push the bow up. Well, now imagine the same situation, right? You're going backwards. If you did that, it would drag the bow down more. As the bow goes down, it's going to go down, 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 and it's going to suck you underwater. So you need to invert your fins when you go backwards. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take a linear speed, and instead of having this as a constant on, it's not a big deal because the electricity gets shut off, but that will burn your electricity. So what we'll do is we can go threshold gate. So if this is, let's see, 0. Let's try, that will go there. Now, I can't do it with a Boolean either, so we'll have to do it this way. That's fine. So threshold of 0. So essentially what we'll do here to turn on the PID, we'll do it a little bit different, and we'll do a not. So if this is not 0, so if this is either going forward or backward, it's going to tick the PID controller on. So the PID will only turn on if we're moving. And so that won't screw around with the stability system while we're sitting. Let's say we're sitting at the rescue. It will just bob on the waves. It won't try to level it out on the waves. That will give us more natural, a natural sitting, a natural bobbing in the water when we're just sitting in the water. It won't like try to stabilize us too much. And especially when we drop it in the game at first, you'll notice the fins will try to fix it. And sometimes the boat will suck underwater for a second, then float back up. This will prevent that because we won't be moving. It will work. We'll be moving a little bit, but next thing we want to do here is, so when we're going forward, it's negative X. And then when we are, let's see, less than. So when our linear speed is less than 0, we will be going X. And then negative X is going to be the standard position. All right, perfect. So what's going to happen here is when we're going forward, that's this one. When we're going forward, the fins are going to be inverted. When we're going in reverse, when it's less than 0, so linear speed less than 0, the fins are going to operate backwards. So that fixes that. I need to do another one. Where's my linear speed? Linear speed right there. All right, so this goes back in. And then I need to do it on the back as well because the altimeters are going to do the same thing. As I back up, it's going to try to push the stern into the water. And it's going to get worse and worse and worse, and it's going to turn us into a submarine. I don't want that. So all we need to do here is pretty simple. Let's actually do this. Let's grab this panel. We'll copy it. And we'll make this the basis of our back here. And so the other reason why I have two altimeters, some people might be wondering, why do you have two altimeters? This is also roll control. If we start to roll to starboard to the right, this altimeter is going to come up here. And this altimeter is going to go down here. This one's going to be positive. That's going to cause this fin to go down. This one's going to be negative, cause this fin to go up. And it's going to tip us back to level. So that's why I have two altimeters, one on each side. So some people may have been wondering that. So let's do this. Let's go property. We want stern. Stern stability system. Let's go in here, and I want to keep some of this. This is all I really want here. I'm not going to PID control the back. I don't need to. And then tilt will turn into altimeter. Fins, linear speed, that's all good. Let's see. And let's see, what nodes do I need? I need linear, I need fins, and I need altimeter. So I'm going to need two of these. That's fine. Altimeter is going to go in to positive on this one, and then invert itself on reverse. So if this is less than 0, this one inverts. So this one's just a little bit different. All right, perfect. So that should work for that. That will make reverse work. So we're going to update that. And we'll copy this. All right, we'll hook all these up. So this is altimeter. So we want the left altimeter, the port one. That goes there. Linear speed will go in here. This will be the starboard altimeter, the starboard fin, and linear speed will go in there. Good. So now I just need to hide these somewhere. Probably want to put, let's see, can I cut into the bow any? I'm trying to get as much buoyancy in the bow. I don't have any place I can cut in there. I can do on top here. I can do right here. So let's go like this. Let's go invert that. And we'll invert that. That will put more buoyancy in the bow. That will help get us out of the water. So let's go run this really quick. And I think we have color swap on, which I don't want. Okay, there we go. All right, let's save this really quick, and we'll test it. So I need to do this or else it was not going to go in reverse. So remember, I increased the RPS, so hopefully we can actually move in reverse. This is also going to make it easier for me to get off the trailer. I can, just like you do in real life, sometimes you power up the boat, you put it in reverse, and you pull yourself off the trailer. Or you can do that thing where you slam on the gas on the truck and, it will jerk the trailer out of the water. All right, press. I have to fix the spacebar too. Spacebar is set to toggle, so I'm just going to go in a reverse. Probably stall the engine here. Yep. Usually you stall it going in reverse because it's working opposite. Okay, so that is, see how it's submerging us? That is... Alright, so I have those backwards, maybe? Those are backwards. So, they're definitely, the stern's definitely backwards there. Let's see if we go, okay, so see how it's rising us up? So it's working fine forward. I can't see my interiors. Let's grab you back. So let's see what I screwed up here. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and I'm going to do this. I'm going to go to the stability system. I'm going to grab a constant number here. Let's make it 10. So that would be 10 is greater than 0. I want to see what the fin does. And which side is this? That's port. Okay, so let's just go check the port fin. And I want to check both directions. So these fins are always tough to see. I don't think I can see these fins. They're hard to get to look at the tooltips on. All right, let's do this. I'm just going to play with the numbers here and not screw with that. Let's see. You know what it probably is? It's this. Linear speed needs to be set to directional. Absolute will always show me a positive number. So if I'm going forward at 10 knots, or 10 meters per second, it'll show me 10. If I'm going in reverse at 10 meters per second, it'll show me 10. I needed this set to directional, so I just forgot to set that to directional. So now it will actually give me a negative number when I go backwards, so it will show me that I'm going -10, and that will trigger it fine. So that should be what that issue was. So we'll back up from here. There we go. And so as you can see, it's trying to lift the stern up. It's keeping us there. And then when I go forward, we're all set. All right, and let me check the... So trigger here should be push, not toggle. And that's going to be 0 thrust. All right, perfect. So this is good. So nice. That has worked. So the trailer is fixed. The truck is fixed. Let's see. I'll end up doing the mission the next episode. So I was hoping to get to it a little bit quicker, but it took some time getting all this set up. So we have one more thing. I may or may not do it. So let's see. Where would I have to put this rocket if I'm gonna? So we saw how this works in heavy weather and heavy waves. It works well. It you know, it handles the waves very well. So I'm kind of a little bit apprehensive about putting in a rocket and having it screwing up the dynamics of how this operates, and I can't get it exactly where I want. So I'd have to do 2. I have a angular momentum or angular speed sensor right here. That's what this black block is there. That should be my angular. I'll grab a node and check. So right here, nope, that's relay. Okay, good. So this can actually move. Perfect. Where's my angular? Oh, I don't have an angular on here. Okay, so I have no angular stability on there. That's fine. Okay, so this is going to get cut. That's my relay. This is perfect. Okay, so we have space under the seat here, right almost perfectly at the center of gravity. All right, so center of gravity is right here. And so this is going to tip the bow down a little bit. It's just gently going to pick it up. We'll throw some weight in the back. This is a good trick if you use the rocket motor glitch. I'll show you. Rocket. So what is it? Rocket booster, small. Let me see. All right, so right here we have fuel. And so what we want to do is I'm going to go to 99%. I'm going to grab this, cut this, and I'm going to stick it right under that seat where we just were. One back. It needs to go back 1. There we go. So right here, and I'm going to merge it. And I can't touch this again once it's in there. I can touch it, but I can't play with its number. So let's go ahead and save this as wooden antique backup. So that's the backup I'm looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull that XML file, and we'll XML edit that. Let's look at its weight. It's only 507. So you don't do it by weight, so I have to kind of figure out where we're at there. So let me quickly look. I pressed the wrong button. Where's vehicles? Vehicles, right there. Okay. And so let me switch you guys over, and we'll go ahead and take a look at the XML here. All right, so I need to go Control F, rocket. Rocket. All right, so we're looking for rocket nozzle small. Where's fuel factor? 0.99. All right, so what I want to do here is I want to make that, let's say, -10. And I don't know exactly what number it's going to be, but that's a light lift. So what it's doing is fuel weighs something. That gives you mass. Negative fuel weighs negative mass. So this is getting rid of mass. Negative mass is giving us buoyancy, and bingo bango, we are able to work around, you know, some of the issues with the game and the buoyancy. So now I want to load up the new one. One thing that's great with the game, and this is something that's happened recently, recently in games, is like it's super quick. You notice how fast I can just spawn this back in the world. Before, like I remember back when I would edit, I'm going to change that number now to -50. Save it, and we'll re-upload. Back, I used to play Flight Simulator 10 back when it first came out, and I used to do a lot of map editing, and I used to have to restart the game every time I made a change. So you see it's sitting up higher in the water now. But the issue is that we have the bow is lower. So that's not the end of the world. Let's do this. So what I want to do here is let's grab another rocket nozzle here, and we'll do double duty. So I will go up like that. And this one will be a 0.99. And so now, as you can see, how many blocks that? That's one off. This is 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks off. So let's actually move this one. Can I get this 4 blocks off? No. Okay. So it's going to live where it's living right now. That's fine. I shouldn't have moved it, but that's all right. So I actually want the bow to be higher a little bit anyway, so I think we're going to be all right. So let's make sure these both drag to 0.99, and the reason I drag them down to 0.99 is it's easy to find. It's a double digit, and so I want to drag this one back. That was actually fine. I could move that. Let's save it right as backup. So one thing that's nice with the game is I can go in the XML here. I can quickly look up rocket. And I want to actually switch out my search to fuel factor 0.99. I'll show you this. So now so I highlighted fuel factor, all that, and I'm going to go here to replace. And I'm going to go here, I'm going to paste that fuel factor. I'm going to paste it again, and I'm going to change both of them to negative 25. Let's do more than that. Let's do negative 50. If it flies off into space, we know it's too high, and then we know we have to work down from 0 to 50. So that's good. So that's negative 50. So now we're going to replace all, and I'll go ahead and I will bring up the game, and we'll load it up. But like I said, it's nice that I can quickly, like super quickly test this. Like I save the file, and 2 seconds later it recalls it. Yeah, see how that's floating much nicer now? It's still... likely I'm not going to be able to get it up way the hell up there, but let's keep going. So we'll go back to the XML. You know, I used to, like I said, have to reboot the game every time I wanted to make a change in FSX. And some of it was like very tedious work, like putting in manual coordinates to move buildings. All right, so that is now saved. And I'm going to go ahead and reload it. And so this is, I went to a negative 100. So you see that's sitting up nice and even higher there. Nice. So I don't want to go crazy. I would love to get rid of the water in here, but the likelihood that I'm able to get rid of the water is probably not going to happen. Let's go to, I'll go to negative, let's go to negative 300. So that's, replace all. The problem is this. This sucker is going to be so light that the problem we're going to start to run into is that it's going to be so light that that good handling that we had in the good handling we had in the ocean waves, we're going to lose that if I go too crazy here. But look at that. That's sitting beautifully. Still going to have water. I doubt I'm going to be able to get rid of water, but it was up around that key panel before, and now it is not because I can't get this floor up high enough. I want to make sure this runs well. So this is going to be so light that we're going to have problems where the wind wants to take it. So for example, you saw last time how it was fine. But we do have the fins in there which will help it. Because it's essentially flying while touching the water. See how it's more flying now? But I think this is a pretty good compromise. We get a little bit better, you know, in-water performance. And so one of the reasons this works, even with it this light, is that, remember, the stern is trying to keep us always at 0 altitude. So this is like a plane that has its autopilot set to an altitude of 0. And so that's working. See how we're banging out of the, you know, see how it's much lighter now? That's the downside to doing this rocket business. So yeah, see, it's starting to get unusable now. Now I could slow it down, which I know is sacrilege in Stormworks to actually slow down and drive reasonably. So that's starting to behave itself a little bit better now. How much do we have to slow down? Yeah, see, we barely have to slow down, like 2 or 3 knots, and it's now back to behaving pretty good. So I think we've got a winner here. The issue is this: can I steer into the wind and still be able to go do a mission? So let's go towards the rock. The wind was pushing us to the south. I want to make sure we can still accomplish this mission. So yeah, so if you remember before, the top of this stern was all the way touching the water when we spawned it. Let's go ahead, we'll kill the water. And I'll 0 our speed. Watch where it sits now because of that glitch. Beautiful. So the bow tips a little bit. I'm not worried about that. It's actually not a bad thing. See how the bow is angled down just a hair? The nice thing with this is we're building in a little bit of down tip. And what's nice with having a little bit of down tilt, do I have a, okay. The nice thing about having a little bit of down tilt is this. The propeller is a little bit below the center of gravity, so naturally it's going to try to bring the bow up, and the fins are all trying to fight that, so that's causing drag, that's slowing us down. So having a little bit of natural mechanical down tilt is going to make it even more stable. But this is pretty good. This isn't insanity. It's not like, see, I can still stand on it fine. It's not so light that I'm rolling it instantly. I have this silliness in here with the water in the floor. Not my favorite, but it's not terrible by any stretch of imagination. But it looks damn good now. Before, when the water was right up at the top of the deck, it looked ugly. This looks really cool. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I think this is cool. You know, this is something that I like to do is, you know, pick a theme. If you're getting bored, if you're looking for some inspiration, I find this is a lot of fun. Go ahead and, you know, I'm thinking that the next build challenge is going to be using one of my chassis, and I'm going to come up with a decade. So say like this is from the 1950s. And so you have to build something from the 50s. And so I said, okay, well, I have a 50s pickup truck. I don't want a modern boat. I want a boat that is period correct. And I want a teardrop trailer. That's like an old school camper trailer that they used to bring. Or, you know, maybe I'll build an Airstream at some point. Something that's period correct. And so that's kind of cool. If you're losing inspiration, you know, maybe pick a decade and be like, hey, I want to build something from the 30s, man. You know, and so I found that to be a lot of fun when I did that. But I hope you guys enjoy this episode. This was, you know, mostly just building. But we now have the truck and the trailer, and we have this little boat. And so I'll quickly jump in the Career Build Series world. All right, so in the Career Build Series save, we were in the test world before, and so this is what precipitated me to want to do this. Is I needed to test out that pickup, and so I ended up getting this mission here. And so it'd be easy to just walk over to Spy Cakes, use the boat I have, and go do this. And so this is inspired me to do this build. So what I think is, you know, launch the truck, trailer, and boat, drive up here, either launch from this beach here or launch from this beach, and then go do the rescue, come over here, drop the people off at the lighthouse, bring the boat back, and load it up in the trailer and the truck and bring it back. So I think that would be fun. I should be able to, let me see. I think the distances are going to be short enough. I think it's 20, yeah, it's 20 kilometers that you get. So it's like this far before the parts will disappear. So even if I spawn truck, trailer, and boat together, I should be able to leave the truck and trailer here, say, and then go do the mission, go to here, come back, and it will still be there. I won't go too far. So I think that will be fun. I like making these little modular things. You know, I think it's a lot more fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed that episode, and I'll see you in the next one.